remember how we have father and daughter Murphys? Well, the daughter Murphy was here. It's like, where's your dad? He says, oh, he's got another game. It's like, oh, he'll be here, but he wasn't assigned. It's like, no, this isn't right.
Was field hockey, were they son and, did they have the same last name? Or did I
Oh, Gitanos? That's Mr. and Mrs., yes.
So daughter and dad?
The
Or?
field hockey crew
Yeah.
was husband and wife.
Oh, they were.
The girls' soccer crew, well, used to be, it was father and
Because field
daughter.
hockey, we were waiting for the husband.
Yeah.
I was like, where the hell is
Yeah,
it?
so if I can do Friday, should I just email you?
So is she.
Yeah, just let us know. I won't be there Friday, so definitely email me.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm coming to you live from Memorial Field in Natick, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's varsity high school boys soccer contest between the hosting Redhawks of Natick High School and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. We're getting off to a later start than I think any of us would have hoped. Weather has not been kind to us so far tonight. We've had some lightning strikes that have pushed us back quite a bit from our originally scheduled 6:30 start time. But you know, we got through the requisite 30 minutes without a lightning strike, and right now we're just hoping it stays that way as the two teams warm up in advance of this game. My Wi-Fi's connection's not doing so hot, which is unfortunately kind of a common problem that comes up when the weather is less than agreeable. So let me know in the live chat if the stream is of particularly bad quality. I am recording this while live streaming it, so if the stream comes through bad, I can upload a full recording later tonight. But in the meantime, the teams are warming up. And so with that in mind, let's take a look at the rosters for the two teams coming in today. Brookline entering this game with a record of 0-2-0. They lost their season opener at Framingham last Friday, and then they lost on the road against Newton South on Monday. They lost Framingham 2-0, lost to Newton South 1-0. And then the hosting Redhawks over on my left with the red jerseys and the white jersey numbers have a record of 0-1-1 so far. They also lost to Newton South by a score of 2-1, and then they tied Wellesley most recently 2-2. Let's take a look at the roster for the hosting Natick High Redhawks coming into today. Going in order of jersey number, first off, we have a senior, number 1, Max Bosworth. Next, a sophomore, number 2, Luke Doherty. A senior, number 3, Kensei Lee. A junior, number 4, Eddie Anibali. A senior, number 5, Mateo Uyar. A freshman, number 6, Luca Tavilla. Senior, number 7, Yusuf Bukardacha. A junior, number 8, Maddie Gordon. A senior, number 9, Sam Hess. A senior, number 10, Graham Minio. A junior, number 11, Joel Duarte Jr. A junior, number 12, Colby Ciavaro. A sophomore, number 13, Austin Dubester. A junior, number 14, Devin Owens. A sophomore, number 16, Brady Dubester. A junior, number 17, Theo Paxton. A junior, number 18, Richie Moulton. A freshman, number 19, Enzo Ivar Dosul. A senior captain, number 21, Keller Berry. A senior, number 22, Brendan McCabe. A senior, number 23, Charlie Ramsey. A senior captain, number 24, Michael Cliver. And a junior, number 30, Jaden Connors. Head coach of the Natick High boys soccer team is Alex Miodazuski. Medashevsky. And now the roster for the visitors today in their white jerseys with their blue outline jersey numbers. Here's the roster for the Brookline High Warriors. Once again, going in order of jersey number, first off, we have a sophomore, number 1, Alec Smagula. Next up, a senior, number 4, Rohan Brown. A sophomore, number 7, Jacob Friedman. A sophomore, number 9, Nico Liteplo. A senior captain, number 10, Eamon Boschel. A senior, number 11, Sebastian Spinelli. A senior, number 12, Gabe Spaggett. A senior, number 13, Henry Ames. A senior, number 14, Jason Ribat. A senior, number 15, Sebastian Cuervo. A junior, number 16, Jack Fitzgerald. A junior, number 17, Grady Ames. A junior, number 18, Ben Spiescher. A sophomore, number 19, Travis Applebaum. A senior, number 20, Oliver Stern. A senior, number 22, Liam Alcalay. A sophomore, number 23, Koya Nicoli. A sophomore, number 24, Wally Lawrence. A sophomore, number 25, Jonah Lipman. A freshman, number 26, Jeffrey Dong. A junior, number 28, Nate Lockwood. A senior, number 29, Tony Zhang. A senior, number 31, Eli Traub. And a senior captain, number 99, Jackson McGee. Head coach of the Brookline High boys soccer team is Kyle Bolu-Jones. So that is the roster as we get ready to get this one underway. Wi-Fi has still been pretty shaky so far. Hoping it rights itself as we go. But again, if you notice it getting really egregiously bad, don't hesitate to say something in the live chat. And I also encourage you to say something in the live chat for any reason. If you just want to, say a simple "Go Brookline," or you want to shout out your favorite player. If you want to let us know where you're tuning in from, that can sometimes be fun with these online live streams that can be watched all over the world. If you want to tell me of any technical difficulties, like I said, I encourage you to do so. And if you notice me messing up the pronunciation of any names, then once again, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. Pre-game clock stands at about 4.5 minutes. Slightly shorter pregame clock than usual as the teams want to get the action underway before the weather has anything else to say about it, as we got delayed pretty far back from our original 6:30 start time. But fingers crossed, we'll have a full high school varsity boys soccer game here tonight out here at Memorial Field in Natick, Massachusetts. Warriors against Redhawks, Brookline versus Natick. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Soccer. Finds the open man, dribbling in, firing a shot. Wally Lawrence with the goal! Crosser, nobody there, but it deflects. Shot saved by McGee. Sends it up, Kulkarni. Kulkarni ties it up! Oscar Kulkarni! All right, we are soon going to get this one underway. We got a little over a minute on the pregame clock.
You guys can't stream those live because people will look at them like that's the point.
Is my mic off? Yeah, we'll have your mic off. Okay, I don't want to cough. It's like,
You'll be able to hear us.
Which is also why you want to watch, censor yourself, just because their headsets.
Two teams huddling up. It is still absolutely pouring out here in Natick. And I give credit to the few fans that I'm seeing out here with their umbrellas and their raincoats, braving the elements to support their favorite teams. We see Natick coming out onto the field. Looks like it's number 1, Max Bosworth, wearing the keeper jersey here today. And then in the meanwhile, for Brookline, of course, their senior captain, number 99, Jackson McGee, is going to be manning the spot between the pipes. So we're about to get this one started. You know, we're about 45 minutes late, but there's nothing wrong with that, I say. So it'll be number 9, Sam Hess, starting us off as Natick gets the opening possession of the first half. Natick on our left, Brookline on our right, and here we go. This game is officially underway. Booted forward by number 21, Keller Berry. A couple deflections, and it's kicked backwards by number 2, Luke Doherty. Good job tracking that one down. Pass goes back to Berry and out to the outside. Natick working down the far side, but the pass out of reach, a bit far away from number 7, Yusuf Bukardacha. And so it'll be a throw-in for Brookline. This is not just a turf field. This is a soaking wet turf field, so that ball is going to roll a lot farther and a lot faster than normal, and the players are going to have to adjust to that. Throw-in, aimed at Wally Lawrence, gets deflected away. Deflections back and forth, and finally cleared out by Brookline. A race up the far side for the ball. It is downed by one of the Natick backs, and he's just got to kick it up the line, and he does and keeps it in bounds. Brookline trying to keep up the pressure, but Natick does clear it out. They move it up the far side for Bukardacha. Few Brookline players swarm, but then he passes to Berry and then up to Bukardacha, and now further up to Hess. Hess pass to the middle, broken up by Brookline and stolen away. Pass goes forward a bit out of reach of Sebastian Spinelli. Now coming in and booting that one away is number 22, Liam Alcalay. Throw-in coming for Natick. Goes up the line, off ahead. Kicked up by Berry, out of bounds, Brookline ball. Alcalay throws this one in, goes off the head of number 24, Michael Cliver, and we got a whistle against Brookline. Might have been a throw-in violation because they're having Natick throw it in right from where Brookline did. We've now got a push on the back against Alcalay, so this will now be a free kick for Natick. Pretty good distance for a free kick here. Pretty good spot for Natick to try and make an attack from about the 26-yard line of the football field. It's going to be kicked by number 14, Devin Owens. Up in the air towards the box, and it's going to curve way too far, and it's going to roll out of bounds along the far sideline. Brookline getting ready to throw this one in. And it deflects off a foot off the head of Bukardacha. And a favorable deflection for Natick. Good hustle there, as he managed to deflect it off of a Brookline player while in midair in order to make this. Oh, no, they're calling this a free kick for Natick is what they're calling it. I thought for sure it was an out-of-bounds call, but instead I guess it's a penalty call. Popped up in the air towards the box. Goes off a shoulder, I think, and deflects forward. Now Brookline takes control of it. Brookline off to the races. Sebastian Cuervo sends a leader, and that is going to spin wide and out of bounds. Throw in, downed by Alcalay. Moved to head off the head of Doherty. Knocked out of bounds, Natick ball, or Brookline ball, excuse me. Alcalay throws into Cuervo, tap to Alcalay, and then he sends it back to number 16, Jack Fitzgerald, across to the center back, Oliver Stern. Now pass intercepted by the Redhawks. Barry sends it forward to Bukarticha. Bukarticha trying to find a passing lane. It's knocked away. Pinballs back and forth. Brookline trying to clear it out, but Natick keeping up the pressure. Barry manages to come away with the ball and pass it to the back line. Now moved forward. Doherty tried to kick it, but was walled, and it's taken away by the Warriors. Spinelli racing through the middle, trying to send a leading pass for Nico Leteplo. He's cut off, and it's taken away by number 24, Cliver. Stolen back by Brookline. Pass goes forward to Spinelli. Spinelli tried to spin off his man, but help defense came, and it's kicked away by Cliver. Throw-in goes to Eamon Boschel. Pass back to Alcalay. His pass intercepted by Hess. Hess trying to send a leader for Barry, but again, that's going to spin and roll too far out of bounds on the near side. Throw-in coming for Brookline. It's deflected down and taken ultimately by Brookline. Cuervo passes up to Leteplo, who sends it up to Boschel, taps it back for Spinelli. Spinelli dribbling through a hole. Spinelli cutting across to the far side. Spinelli still with it. Now tries a pass. It's deflected out of bounds by Bukarticha, and it will be Brookline ball. Some nice passing from Brookline. Now a throw-in, deflects. Big wind-up and kick from Wally Lawrence, but it's deflected into the air. Now Stern kicks it back forward. It goes off ahead, and now Barry boots it high in the air. Racing after the ball is Doherty. Doherty tries to send a pass through. It goes off the back of Alcalay's foot, but is recovered by Doherty. Sends another pass across, finds a man. Sent back to number 14, Devin Owens. Owens sends it out to the far side. Pass misses, and it's booted away by Brookline up in the air. It's controlled by Nico Leteplo. Leteplo racing after it. Leteplo, almost got it, but it was stopped just barely by Bosworth. Just enough to keep Leteplo from fighting through it. Leteplo now takes the pass, sends it forward. It's tapped back. Controlled by Brookline, it gets back to Cuervo. Cuervo passes to the near side, finds Boschel. Boschel back to Cuervo. Now he sends it out, and slipping and falling while trying to go back for the pass was Alcalay. Correction on pronunciation in the live chat from Emily Speicher, as that is how the last name is pronounced, Speicher. I said Speicher. That's my mistake. Thank you for the correction. In the air, Leteplo fights for the ball again. Leteplo trying to fight through. He gets walled off once again. Ball's deflected into open space and kicked forward by Natick. It's going to go up to Bukarticha. Bukarticha trying to dribble through, sends a pass walled off by the defense. It's recovered by Hess, sent out to Doherty. Doherty's kick headed down by Fitzgerald, and it's going to roll out of bounds. Natick ball. Couple of big attacking chances from Nico Leteplo for Brookline, but nothing has managed to get him a good shooting opportunity yet. This pass intercepted. A couple passes, and it's broken up. The pass from Leteplo taken away by number 23, Charlie Ramsey. He sends it back, and it goes all the way back to Bosworth, the goalie, off the pass from number 17, Theo Paxton. Now out to the far side. Work it up the far side, and too much of a push. And that's going to be a penalty against Brookline. And so it'll be a free kick for Natick. Devin Owens, number 14, taking the free kick. Sends it forward, deflects off ahead. And off another head. Deflects to the outside, and it's corralled by Natick. Kicked forward, kicked back by Stern. Off another head. And another head. And still another head. And we make it 4 heads, and now it's booted into the air. And we start the streak over again, but that time it's just 2. But now a potential chance for Natick. It's booted in the air, but it might have been deflected, as I think this is going to be our first corner of the day, which is a little tough because we can't quite see the corner. So we're just going to have to wait for the ball to come in. Setting up to kick it is Luke Doherty. Again, sorry you can't see it, just nature of the view. Comes in low, it's bodied down, and now an attempted pass misses Doherty and goes out of bounds. That was Hess trying to fight for a chance to get an opening there, but nothing doing. Throw in coming for Brookline. Pass now goes forward to Cuervo. Cuervo fakes out a defender and keeps with it so he can pass to the outside. I believe that is Jason Rabat, who is working as the wingback on the far side for Brookline. His pass off the mark, and it's taken now by the Redhawks. Throw in for the Redhawks, immediately booted up in the air by Brookline. Nico Leteplo deflects it off his head, but just rolls too far away from him, and it's chased down by Cliver. Cliver sends it up the line, deflected by Alcalay, but then collected by number 8, Matty Gordon. Booted upfield, it deflects, and a big chance now for the Redhawks as it is collected, but struggled to keep control of it. And the big kick from Hess, walled off by Alcalay. Recovered by Bukarticha, pass back to Barry. Barry sends one through, booted away by Alcalay once again. Recovered now by Owens. Owens sends it up the line to Bukarticha. Or no, so that was not Bukarticha. The pass for Bukarticha was intercepted. Now Boschel tries a pass, deflected, but recovered by Leteplo. Pass back, now popped up in the air. Lawrence trying to control it, but it's headed away by Owens. Kick towards the middle, and it deflects and is taken by Gordon. Gordon gets taken down from behind. That will be a penalty against Brookline. Free kick for Natick. Now Natick working off the free kick. Sent forward by Owens up to Bukarticha. Bukarticha sends one back, and this pass misses Owens, and Owens going to have to chase that one down. He can't. It's going to be out of bounds Brookline ball. Quick throw in for Brookline, going all the way into the arms of Bosworth. Bosworth punts it. Off the head of Hess, downed by Rabat, but he can't clear it. Hess takes it. Rabat takes it back. Couple deflected passes. It goes forward. Brookline working it upfield. Lawrence pops one in the air, trying to lead his teammate, but it's cut off by Cliver and kicked out of bounds. Gets it out of bounds along the sidelines, and so Alcalay throws this one in. Leteplo trying to fight. Nico Leteplo lost track of the ball, and it's cleared out by the Redhawks. Recovered by Cuervo. Cuervo dribbling against Doherty, sends pass to the near side. Bit hard to see with the tent, but that's Alcalay with the ball. Pass back to Cuervo. Cuervo pops one up. Off ahead. Off the head of Bukarticha. And he heads it forward a second time. Stern kicks it back, bouncing along. It is taken by Leteplo, pass to a teammate. fires a shot. That was Lawrence, but it was walled off by Paxton. Recovered. Another long shot is going to roll wide. Goal kick coming for Bosworth. Scoreboard clock shows about 26.5 minutes here in the first half. No score thus far. This one booted in the air. Off the head of Barry. Booted away. Deflected down, but corralled by Lawrence. Lawrence fires a shot. Saved by Bosworth. Juicy rebound is cleared away by Cliver. Alcalay throws it in. Pass goes back from Bochelle to Alcalay. This one deflected in the air off the head of Fitzgerald and Doherty. Downed by Cuervo over to Alcalay. Alcalay kicks it forward. Finds Bochelle. Bochelle's pass deflected out of bounds by Gordon. Throw in from Alcalay. Liteplo takes it, but was swarmed by defenders. And now it's kicked up the near sideline by Natick, corralled by Fitzgerald. Pass up to Alcalay. Now he sends it all the way back to Stern. And Stern kicks it all the way back to netminder Jackson McGee. McGee boots it. Finds an open Spinelli, but he had to keep it in bounds, so it's taken by Gordon. Gordon racing upfield. Now met by defenders, has to pass back to Cliver. His pass intercepted by Rabat, sent forward, finds Lawrence. Lawrence trying to dribble through. His pass deflected, taken by Gordon. Gordon passes back to Cliver. Cliver sends a through pass beautifully to find Barry. Barry working up the near side. Gets through a defender. Trying to get around another. Alcalay meets him. Crosser goes over the top. Boy, when you see the net moving like that, for a brief second you're like, wait a second, did that go in? But no, it did not. This will be a goal kick for Brookline. A very nice pass from Michael Cliver and some nice ball handling by Barry, by Keller Barry. Resulted in a very dangerous chance for the Redhawks, but couldn't finish on the kick. Throw in up the far sideline. Scrum for the ball, kicked away by Brookline, but knocked right back by Natick. Headed away by Brookline, deflects upfield, gets to Liteplo. Liteplo dribbling with some space to work. He tries to lift a leader. Brookline is crashing towards the net, but Bosworth takes it off the bounce. That was Lawrence trying to crash across the field, come across from the far side. Almost managed a nice backdoor cut to get an open look there, but Bosworth came up and took that ball away. That one off the head of Doherty and now launched through the uprights. Wrong kind of football for that one. And now it'll be a goal kick. McGee setting up for the goal kick. Past midfield, downed by Liteplo. Liteplo's been creating all kinds of offensive threats with his nose for the ball early here in the first half. This one popped high in the air, and it's going to be caught like a fair catch by Bosworth. Rolls it out to Cliver on the near side. Passes forward to Doherty. Doherty moves it forward, but it's taken by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald up for Liteplo. Liteplo fights off the defenders, but his pass just wide of Bochelle and out of bounds. Nico Liteplo's looked very impressive as a striker for Brookline these first few games, even if no goals have been scored by the Warriors thus far, and shows a lot of promise as a young sophomore. That kick goes off ahead, off the head of number 28, Nate Lockwood. Now a long leading kick from Brookline is going to be chased down by Owens and sent back to Bosworth. Bosworth looking, taps it for Paxton. Paxton long kick goes over the head of Stern, but is downed by Rabat. Corralled by number 22, Brendan McCabe, sends it out to the far side. Bakardicha manages to get a pass back. Owens sends it forward, but gets away from the target. Kicked away by Rabat, sent up to Lawrence. Lawrence dribbling, defender on his back. He's still dribbling with it. Tried to send a pass through, but just barely deflected. And now off a couple deflections, it's taken by Spinelli. Spinelli taps a hard one back to Lockwood. Lockwood out to the far side to Rabat. Rabat lost control of it out of bounds. Substitution coming in for Natick, number 12, Colby Ciavaro. He subs in and takes over for number 23, Charlie Ramsey. Throw in, off ahead, downed, controlled by Brookline briefly. And Brookline does still control it. Pass gets up to Spinelli. Spinelli can't keep the ball, though. It's taken away. Barry sends a leading kick, but Alcalay cuts it off, but he couldn't clear it perfectly, and so Stern clears it away. Downed now by Paxton, and Cliver sends a pass forward, but too far. Booted up in the air by Alcalay. They call offsides. Personally, I didn't see offsides, but also I'm not a ref, so it doesn't matter. No matter what, you've got to respect the ref's calls. You know, these guys are doing a thankless job out here for very little pay, and they'll walk if we don't respect them. So be sure to thank an official today. Brookline clears it up the far side, out of bounds. Natick takes the ball. We're about halfway through the first half, just under 20 minutes on the clock. Looking, there's the throw-in. Deflects up in the air, off the head. And now booted up field, headed away by Stern, and manages to get it to Beauchel, but Beauchel's pass broken up, recovered by Rabat, pass to the middle, intercepted, controlled. That was Ciavaro at the pass, over to Gordon now, to the near side to Cliver. Cliver tries to send one through to the middle, curves just a bit too much, couldn't be corralled, and Beauchel kicks it away. Lawrence moves it forward, but it's intercepted by Owens. Owens sends it up the middle for Barry. Barry sends it down the far side. Kick to the box is headed away, but juicy chance for Natick. They launch a kick, it sails high and wide. I believe that was Ciavaro who took that kick. Just a bit tough elevation-wise and angle-wise to try and get a good shot off. Two subs coming in now for Brookline. The Ames brothers, number 13, Henry Ames, and number 17, Grady Ames, take to the field as they replace, I believe, Nico Liteplo and Nate Lockwood. McGee boots it. Cross midfield. It's a race for the ball. And it's going to bounce out of bounds. Natick ball. We await the throw-in for Natick. Throw-in. And lost out of bounds. It was a battle for the ball between number 14, Jason Rabat, and number 22, Brendan McCabe. Another throw-in, gets away from McCabe, and Rabat controls it, passes back to McGee. McGee boots it up the near side to Alcalay. Alcalay dribbles forward, sends a long kick out of reach for, I believe, Henry Ames, as it's taken out by Cliver. Cliver tries a pass knocked away by Ames. Henry Ames controls it, somehow gets a pass away, but it's booted away by number 4, Eddie Anabali. Brookline throw-in coming up. Just under 17 minutes on the clock here in the first half, no score. Brookline moves too far forward on the throw-in, so they have to reset. Rabat throws it in, deflects out of bounds, stays Brookline ball. They're working for a rushed throw-in, bouncing along. Corralled, shot fired, and it's going to be taken off the ground by Bosworth. That was number 17, Grady Ames, with the shot. Bosworth punts this one across midfield, off the head of Alcalay towards the middle, where it's taken by Barry. Barry pass to the outside for Anabali, sent forward, knocked away by Brookline, deflects back and forth. Anabali tries another pass, intercepted briefly by Cuervo, but now taken by McCabe. McCabe, slide tackle taken away by Rabat. Rabat keeps it in bounds and boots it away as it bounces. Missed by Paxton, but corralled by Cliver. Cliver pops it up the near side. It's headed down. Controlled, but the pass intercepted by Cuervo. Pass to Bochelle. Bochelle tries to send it over to the far side. It's walled down, but didn't get the deflection he wanted. That was McCabe trying to make something happen. Now the pass from Brookline out of bounds. Red Hawks ball. The rain starting to lighten up a little bit. It's a little bit more of a mist as opposed to the absolute torrent it was back when we were starting. Back and forth. And Rabat takes control of it and boots it up in the air. Deflects off Paxton. Headed forward by Brookline. They're fighting for it. Tangled up with Cliver is Spinelli. He, from the seat of his pants, managed to deflect that one back, but it couldn't be corralled out of bounds. Natick ball. Throw in off the head of Alcalay towards Stern. Smart redirect there by Alcalay. Stern boots it up in the air. Paxton trying to control it. He decides to just box out the Brookline striker so Bosworth can pick it up. Bosworth rolls it in. Sent forward by Owens. Tapped from Ciavaro to the outside to Anabali. Anabali dribbling, lost the ball, but it was deflected out by Bochelle. Natick ball. Throw in, deflects back out of bounds, this time last touched by Natick. Couple subs coming in for Brookline now, number 23, Koya Nicoli, and number 26, Jeffrey Dong, as they replace Sebastian Spinelli and someone else who came out on the far side. Number 24, Wally Lawrence, was the other player who came out. As the officials have said a couple of times, the players can't come out along that far sideline. They've got to cross the field. Throw in. Deflects. Booted away by Paxton up in the air. Battling for it. It's kicked up in the air. Penalty, I believe, called against Brookline as two players got tangled up. Paxton setting up for the free kick. 13 minutes left in the half. Booted away by Rabat. Up in the air off Owens. Now off the head of Barry. Now booted forward by Cuervo. And now a bit of an open chance for Brookline. Charging in, firing a shot. It's going to roll wide. A near chance, I believe, for Henry Ames once again, as Bosworth puts it into Paxton. Paxton to the near side to Cliver. Cliver up the line, deflected out of bounds by Cuervo. Natick ball. Oh, no, they call a penalty on Cuervo. This is going to be a free kick. Free kick launched. Whoa. Sorry about that. Camera got a bit shook for a second, but we're all good now as McGee took it off the bounce. McGee still looking. Now boots it. Deflects down, rolls out of bounds. Brookline ball. Throw in. Deflects. Now popped up in the air. And up in the air again. Off the head of Bukarticha, off the head of Rabat. Booted away by Stern, out of bounds. Now 3 subs coming in for Natick. Number 6, Luca Tavilla. Number 11, Joel Duarte Jr. And number 23, Charlie Ramsey. They come in replacing Ciavaro and McCabe and Gordon. Pass to the near side. Dong struggled to collect it. He gets tripped up from behind. And that'll be a free kick for Brookline, close to midfield. About 10.5 minutes left in the half here. Looks like it'll be Cuervo setting up to take this one from about the 49-yard line. Cuervo pops it high in the air. Deflects out to the far side, and it's going to be last touched by Natick. So Brookline gets a throw in deep in Red Hawks territory. Throw in right into the box, booted away by Paxton, deflects down, corralled by Brookline, pass back, pass forward, deflects away, booted away. Still deflecting back and forth. Brookline gets control of it, but has to pass back. And they're going to go all the way back to McGee. McGee boots it high in the air as we reset things. And I believe we got an offsides call on Brookline. Smart jump up by the defensive line for Natick to draw that offsides. Now this one booted high, off ahead, just barely off the head of Fitzgerald. That almost bounced right towards one of the Natick strikers, but instead it's cleared out of bounds. Natick ball. Throw in. Rabat sends it up the line. Sent back, up pass broken up by Rabat. Controlled by the Warriors, but this pass knocked away by Cliver. Several deflections corralled by the Red Hawks. Dong fighting for it and wrestle the player to the ground, so we get a free kick as he got tangled up with Duarte. Big free kick coming up for the Red Hawks. Ball at about the 31 or 32-yard line. Popped up in the air by Paxton. Header is going to bounce into the waiting hands of Jackson McGee. Potentially dangerous chance, but couldn't get enough power on that header. As this one deflects back to Cliver, he pops it up in the air. And Alcalay boxing out, and they're going to say that it went off Alcalay's chest as he was trying to box out a Natick player from getting to the ball. And so instead it'll be Natick ball. Throw in. Kicked in the air. Deflects several which ways. Now popped forward towards the Brookline end. Stern corrals it, but it's taken back. Barry going down the near side. Crosser is walled off by the Brookline defense. I believe that was Fitzgerald, who was there to back up Stern. Throw in for Natick now. Throw in from Barry, off ahead, bouncing. Duarte fighting for it, slipped, and they're going to call a penalty on Natick. That's the one thing that's really interesting with how slippery the field is. You know, there could potentially be a situation where a guy falls down of his own accord, you know, not even trying to draw anything, but just by accident, and might end up drawing a penalty if there's a close enough defender. McGee boots this one. Off ahead. Paxton misses. Goes off the head of Cliver. Off another head. Brookline fighting for it. It's controlled by, I believe that's Koya Nicoli, but he ran out of real estate there. Couldn't corral it. Out of bounds, Natick ball. 6 minutes left in the first half. Stolen away by Nicoli. Pass to the middle. Finds a target. That's Bochelle. Bochelle taps it for Nicoli. Nicoli trying to send it forward. Deflected but recovered by Brookline. Pass goes back. Now lifted across. Oh, header goes the wrong way. Brookline had 3 players crashing into the box for that one, but the header just had completely the wrong angle. 4 subs now coming in for Brookline. Number 9, Nico Liteplo. Number 11, Sebastian Spinelli. Number 24, Wally Lawrence. And number 28, Nate Lockwood. They replace Jeffrey Dong, Henry Ames, Koya Nicoli, and Grady Ames. Bosworth gives it to Paxton. Paxton walking up, sends a pass forward, and now quickly to the outside to Cliver. Cliver running up the line, now sending one leading for Doherty, and it's knocked out of bounds by Fitzgerald. Doherty going for a quick throw-in. Nope. Now being thrown in by Cliver. We are officially in stoppage time now. Scoreboard clock frozen at 5 minutes. Only the officials will know when the half is over. Liteplo couldn't keep that one in bounds, and it will be Natick ball. Cliver throws it in, deflects down, and an over the back on Brookline is going to result in a free kick for Natick. From about the 25-yard line, or nope, they got to move it a few yards back, so it's at the proper spot. Matty Gordon setting up for the free kick here. Into the air towards the box, deflected. I don't know if they called offsides or handball or what, but either way, that is... It felt like they blew the whistle before the ball went out of bounds, but it's hard to tell. I mean, either way, the result is effectively the same. It's a free kick for Brookline. An estimated 3 minutes and 30 seconds left here in the first half. Still no score. McGee's kick bouncing all the way up to Liteplo. Liteplo trying to fight through, but he's cut off by Cliver, and Cliver kicks it away. It's deflected back, corralled, but the pass intercepted by Barry. Barry cut off by the defense. It's lost out of bounds, Brookline ball. Alcalay throws it in over everybody. Paxton kicks it out of bounds. Brookline ball once again. Lawrence setting up to throw this one in. This one high in the air. Off the head of Paxton into open space. Now booted up in the air by the Red Hawks, downed by Lawrence. Lawrence managed to tap a pass away, managed to tap back to Lawrence. Lawrence crosses towards the middle, and a shot is fired. It's well wide and corralled easily by Bosworth. Estimated 2 minutes 30 left here in the half as Bosworth punts it. It's downed but corralled by Cuervo. Pass up the far side. Lost track of the ball, but out of the ricochets. Still, no one's got clean control of it. Now Gordon with it. Gordon gets a pass away up to Doherty. And a late whistle for a penalty against Brookline. Free kick for Natick. Paxton sends it over to Owens, who sends it back to Bosworth. Bosworth out to Paxton. Paxton had a little trouble controlling the ball, just barely gets it forward to Gordon, who misses. Cliver out of bounds. Brookline takes it. Bochelle, a quick throw in. This is Lockwood. Lockwood fends off the defender. Pass for Alcalay. Alcalay tripped up. No call. They say he got ball. Barry, pass out to the far side. Ball's taken away, and now they call a penalty on Natick. Free kick from Brookline launched up in the air. Leteplo controls it. Leteplo trying to get around Owens, but he cannot. Still fighting. Owens ultimately kicks it up to Anabali, but Leteplo swoops in and takes the ball away. Leteplo still fighting, tries a pass walled off, and it's collected by Barry up to the far side, but the man slipped out of bounds. Less than a minute left estimated here in the half. Quick throw in from Brookline. Gets up to a streaking player, but finally walled off and booted away by the Redhawks. Hard collision there, but the ball deflects up to Lawrence. Lawrence passes back for Alcalay. Alcalay lost track of the ball. It's stolen by Doherty. Doherty taps it over for Barry. Barry approaching. Crosser goes through. Shot. Saved by McGee. Rebound. Shot is in. Matty Gordon with the putback. Puts Natick on the board first.
39th minute.
In the 39th minute, Natick comes back with a big push. It started with a Brookline player, not able to keep control of the ball, gave it to Natick. Gordon, who scored on the putback. Excuse me. Ball out of bounds. We're still... There's the whistle for halftime. At half, the score, the Natick High Redhawks 1, the Brookline High Warriors 0. During this halftime intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And as always, you can find all that information about our local charity spotlight down in the description down below, where you can also find a link to the Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club if you would like to show your support for Brookline High Soccer in a monetary way. So be sure to check that out in the description section. But for now, it is halftime. Natick 1, Brookline 0. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan at Memorial Field in Natick, Massachusetts. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to mute the mic, but I'll be back with the second half of this game. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Memorial Field in Natick, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second half of this varsity high school boys soccer contest between the hosting Natick High Redhawks and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. The Redhawks with a 1-0 lead after scoring a last-second goal to end the first half. That goal scored on the rebound by Maddie Gordon. And so Brookline now trying to get back in it. Brookline is still looking for their first goal of the year here in game number 3 of this season. And if there's a time to get it, it's a pretty good time to get it when you're down. The rain is appears to be picking back up in intensity after it lightened a bit to something resembling more of a mist in the first half, but only a little. It only lightened up a little bit and only briefly. Weather has not been very kind. Brookline trying to move on the attack, but that pass could not be intercepted, and the Natick does get it up to number 22, Brendan McCabe. McCabe sends it up the near side, looking for Keller Berry. Berry fighting for the ball, but he couldn't corral it. It rolls out of bounds, Brookline ball. Important to note that if this game gets called due to weather, it will be officially through since they got through one half. And in that case, if the score is the same as it currently is, Natick would get the win. Brookline trying to push it forward, but it's cleared out. Rolls to the far side, and Sebastian Cuervo could not keep that one in bounds. Expressed a bit of frustration there by kicking it off the far side bleachers. Natick throws it in, batted down and kicked forward. Liam Alcalay controls it, clears it away. Gordon tried to kick it, it deflects into the air. Brookline can't keep it in bounds. Stays Natick ball. Throw in, headed down. Deflects, and McCabe takes control of it. McCabe sends it up the far side, knocked away. Brookline clears it up. And now a long leading kick being sent for Wally Lawrence, but it's tapped away and controlled by the Redhawks as they send it forward to Berry. Now a couple quick passes, and McGee is going to come out and kick it away out to the far side, and Cliver is just going to watch that one go out of bounds. Throw in, off ahead, out of bounds, still Natick ball. This throw-in coming from Michael Cliver. It's corralled by Gordon, but the pass misses Cliver, and that's going to go out of bounds. Brookline ball. Number 22, Liam Alcalay, throwing it in. Throws it in to Nate Lockwood. Tapped back to Alcalay. Sent forward, bounces past the target, and it's kicked away. Off the head of Jason Rabat, corralled by Lockwood. Lockwood racing across the field, sending a pass forward. Offsides called against Brookline. Natick wasting no time getting things going. This is Eddie Anabali passing to the middle. Now around, circle it goes. Anabali kicks it forward. It's going to be too far forward. And Brookline just going to watch that one roll out of bounds. It will be a goal kick. Got a nice note in the live chat from Jocelyn Glatzer. Thanks so much for streaming this. My pleasure, Jocelyn. Happy to do it, and I hope the stream has been okay despite the bad weather and the shaky Wi-Fi. Cuervo pass finds Nico Leteplo. Leteplo turns around, passes out to Alcalay on the far side. Alcalay taps it to the middle. Leading kick. Henry Ames charging in. Whiffed on the shot. Recovering the ball. It's very close to the sidelines. and he manages to get a favorable deflection out of bounds. I ran out of room on the camera. Throwing in for Brookline is going to be number 4, Rohan Brown. Correction, number 14, Jason Rabat throws it in, deflecting across. Corralled by Brookline. Shot is in! Wally Lawrence with the first Brookline goal of 2023. Wally Lawrence with the equalizer. I guess the assist goes to Jason Rabat off the throw-in. And now we're all tied up at 1 apiece, and now Natick wasting no time getting on the attack as they send a long leading kick out to the far corner for Luke Doherty. He gets a favorable deflection that's going to get Natick a corner immediately. Goal in the 45th minute, just 5 minutes into this second half. Goal scored by Wally Lawrence, assisted by Jason Rabat. Corner kick coming in, and it's going to go too far. And it's going to go out of bounds, Brookline ball. It's a common thing you see with corners is just trying to get the right portion of height and length of your kick can be really tricky, and so you get a lot of kicks that just kind of sail over everybody. Throw-in goes up to Leteplo. Leteplo tapped, and he walls off that kick from Charlie Ramsey as it goes out of bounds. It'll be Natick ball. Throw-in from Anabali. Tapped back by Ramsey. Anabali's pass intercepted by Cuervo. Cuervo sends a leader. Not offsides, but too far, and easily taken by Bosworth. Max Bosworth rolls it in to number 14, Devin Owens. Owens fakes out a Brookline player. Pass forward misses. Taken away by Eamon Boschel. Pass to the near side for Lawrence. Lawrence fakes out a defender. Lawrence racing up. Crosser deflected away by Natick. Barry controls it. Barry fends off the defender. No, he doesn't. It's poked away, but Brookline couldn't control it. But then I think a penalty call against Natick, and so we're going to have a free kick for Brookline. So Brookline setting up for the free kick at about the 32-yard line. Looks like they've got Cuervo and Boschel near the ball. We'll see which one of them takes the kick. It's going to be Boschel. Boschel pops it in the air. Almost headed away, but punched out by Bosworth. Now Doherty kicks it upfield. It's a race for the ball. McGee's going to come out and kick it out. That was almost a very well-placed kick for Brookline, but great hustle from Max Bosworth, the Natick goalie, to punch that one away. Subbing in for Natick is number 3, Kensei Lee, replacing Eddie Anabali. Throw in now coming from Natick. Throw in, headed down, out of bounds, still Natick ball. Another nice note in the live chat from Karen Stern. Go Jason and Wally, great goal. Another throw in, knocked away by Brookline. Swooping in and kicking it forward is Lawrence. Lawrence calling to just let him take the ball himself. He kicks it up towards the middle, but nobody is there, and it's going to be booted in the air by Natick. Battle for the ball. It's headed by Leteplo. Leteplo off to the races. Leteplo gets around a defender, but he's running out of real estate on the far side. Leteplo controls it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Cliver. Substitution for Brookline, number 17, Grady Ames, back out onto the field. He's going to replace Sebastian Cuervo. Brookline just going to get the ball. They're going to have a throw in deep in their own end after a smart, patient play by Leteplo. Throw in, bouncing in low into the box. Cliver trying to clear it, but it's knocked out the back line by Brookline. This will be a goal kick for the Redhawks. They waste no time, get it into Paxton. Theo Paxton kicks it upfield. It's knocked down by Brookline. Now kicked into open space. Natick had it for a second. Now it's a race to the ball, and Kensei Lee sends it up the line, but it rolls out of bounds. Brookline ball. Quick throw in. Deflection off the kick from Ames. It went off the head of Ramsey and is now corralled by Gordon. Gordon taps it ahead for Ramsey. Ramsey sends it forward. And now this is Jason Rabat with the ball. Sends it back to McGee. McGee slices it high in the air. That's going to go out of bounds. And off the cart. And into the stands. Lee throwing it in. Off a foot, it goes to Lawrence. Lawrence pops it in the air towards the middle, and the kick is whiffed by Ames, deflected by Gordon, but then taken by Leteplo. Leteplo racing up the far side again, walled off by Cliver. Ball recovered, I believe, by Bochelle. Pass, give and go for Bochelle, but Cliver cuts it off and kicks it out of bounds. This is going to be a Brookline corner. So Brookline with a big chance here with about 29.5 minutes left in this game. Setting up for the corner. Number 13, Henry Ames, taking the corner kick. Or it might be Eamon Bochelle. A bit hard to tell the numbers, but either way, this ball deflects up in the air. Now, that was Henry Ames who deflected it back out to Bochelle, who pops it back up in the air. And it's cleared out by Natick. Brookline got a second chance of floating that one into the box. Just couldn't. Rabat chases it down, kicks it upfield, kicked back by Owens, corralled by Stern. Stern trying to run upfield, knocked out of bounds by McCabe. Subs coming in on both sides for Brookline, number 31, Eli Traub, and number 11, Sebastian Spinelli. For Natick, it is number 6, Luca Tavilla, and number 7, Yusuf Bukardacha. So the out-of-bounds last touch by Brookline. Throw in for Natick. Goes up for Bukardacha. Cut off by Stern. Stern kicks it upfield. It's downed and controlled by Barry. Barry trying to race up the near side. Defense there to box him out, and they are forced to kick it out of bounds deep down the near sideline. Natick setting up to throw it in. Barry going to throw it in himself. Into box. Missed wide. It looked like there might have been a chance at a header for Natick off that throw-in, but just couldn't make it happen. And after it's knocked out of bounds by Brookline along the back line, this is now going to be a corner kick. We still cannot see due to our limited perspective, unfortunately. Gordon kicks in the corner. It's headed away by Brookline. A race to the ball in open space. Owens gets there first, but I believe that was Jack Fitzgerald who knocked it out of bounds, and it will be Natick ball. Throw in, off a head from Barry, off another head, and that's going to fly out of bounds. Brookline ball. Throw in, passed back and booted away by Fitzgerald. Nice header to keep the ball in bounds, and it's deflected away by Natick, but it bounces away from the defender. Brookline's got a big chance here. Long shot sails through the uprights. That was Lawrence trying to make it 2 goals. But it's hard to make those shots on the run when the ball is bouncing. And a lot of times you see something just like that. Paxton sends it up to Cliver, now to the middle. Gordon trying to fend off several white jerseys. Or is that actually, that might actually be number 6 to Villa. Sometimes a bit hard to tell jersey numbers from a distance, especially numbers that look so similar. Substitution For Brookline, Sebastian Cuervo into the game, replacing Nate Lockwood. Throw in. Pass. Out to the near side to Rabat. Rabat tries to tap it for Lawrence. Lawrence takes it, cuts across. Pass to the middle, finds an open man. Bochelle winds and fires, and that's going to roll low. And you see that's just it right there. So, you try and give the ball lift, and it can sail over the bar. You try and keep it from getting too much lift, and you end up with a slow roller that goes wide of the net anyway. It's really tough to get a good, perfect shot off in this game, especially on a wet night like tonight. Back and forth. The ball deflects. Out of it. Brookline appears to have possession. Pass goes up to Spinelli. Spinelli trying to split the defenders. He does. Sends a through pass to an open man. And he's tripped up in the box. And they call a corner. They say he got ball first. No PK. That was Michael Cliver. And Brookline racing to go for the corner. In through the middle. Deflects. Wait, that one went in. That was an own goal. Unbelievable. Brookline bringing the big celebration here in the second half. As amazingly they take the 2-1 lead. Brookline decided to race for the corner kick before everyone was ready. Even some of Brookline's players weren't ready. And were still kind of embroiled in the frustrations of that previous play. But then they kick it in the box. It goes off the leg of a Natick defender and into the net. So an own goal. I believe credit for the goal will go to the guy who kicked it towards the middle. I didn't see who it was, though. So that's going to be one for me to go back and look at the tape so I can find out who scored that one. You'll see that when I post the highlights from this game tomorrow on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at the link in the bottom right corner of your screen. There's also a link down in the description section. So about 24 and a half minutes on the clock. Throw in. Deflects out into open space. Doherty with the ball, but out-muscled by a pair of defenders. Brookline sends the ball up. They're trying to send a leading kick. Racing for it. Lawrence could not get there before it was redirected by Paxton. And they're going to say Lawrence pushed on the back, and they're going to call him for the penalty. Now, Natick trying to move it. Paxton sends it out to the far side to Cliver. Cliver stood up, and the ball deflects out of bounds. They're going to say last touched by Cliver, and it'll be Brookline ball. Brookline with a pair of substitutions. Number 9, Nico Liteplo, and number 28, Nate Lockwood, return to the field as they replace Wally Lawrence and Eamon Bochelle. Throw in off ahead, booted upfield, but taken by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald pops it in the air, deflects, up in the air, off the head of Rabat, off another head, I believe Lockwood, but out of the swarm. Natick comes with it, and a trip, no call. The refs really letting them play today. A lot of physicality from both sides, sometimes no calls. A long pass up to Bukarticha, but it's knocked away by Rabat. Jason Rabat has had a very nice day defensively today for Brookline, and he's got the throw-in assist on Wally Lawrence's goal early in the second half. So a throw-in coming from Brookline. Up the line, off the head of Tavilla, off another head from Brookline. Now corralled, pass to the outside to Doherty. Doherty tries to send one through, deflects right to a Natick player, Barry. Thrown in, headed down, going to stay in play. Barry tries a crosser, and it goes off the body of Rabat out of bounds. That's going to be a corner. Natick was trying to call for a handball in the box, but they did not get it. Natick was hoping they could get a PK out of a handball violation inside the box, but so now this will be a corner kick for Natick. Gordon setting up to kick it. Comes in low, headed away by Brookline. And Natick was calling for a push, and it looks like they're going to get that call. And it looks like Natick is going to get a chance on the PK as one of the Natick players fell down just as the kick was starting to come in. And so now this is going to be a penalty shot. PK coming from Keller Barry. Barry versus McGee. Big moment here. Shot saved by McGee! It's recovered by Natick, and they pop it up. It goes off ahead. Now a boot towards the box. Headed back, downed, pass up. Gordon shoots off the bar! Recovered by Barry. Natick is not stopping their assault here as it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be another corner. How about Jackson McGee? He had the great save, which turned into a putback score for Natick at the end of the first half. And now the corner kick sails in, but it's right to a Brookline player off ahead, goes back. Lee pops it up in the air. Downed. Trying to fight through defenders, and it's cleared out by Brookline. That is not the first time I've seen Jackson McGee get a save on a PK. As fans might remember from last year's playoffs when Brookline, as the 31 seed, was taking on second-seeded St. John's in the round of 32. McGee did get a save on a PK shot, but that save spun right back towards the shooter, and so he was able to score on the putback. But that time, off the hands, off the bar, and on a favorable angle for Brookline away from the net. Now a long kick cleared by Brookline, and Bosworth charges up, kicks it back towards the Brookline end, headed down. Pass back and forth, intercepted by Brookline. Man goes to the ground, nothing called, and now he gets tripped up, and now they call as Sebastian Spinelli got tripped up. Spinelli back on his feet. And now this will be a free kick for Brookline. Just over 18 minutes left. Free kick for Brookline. Sails in, goes off ahead. Now off the foot of Bukarticha. Bouncing through. Brookline corrals it. Alcalay pops one up. Kicked back by Paxton. Popped in the air by Lawrence. Off the head of Ciavaro. Now deflecting back and forth several ways. Rabat kicks it. Now controlled by Gordon. Gordon manages to get a pass to the near side to Lee. Lee gets a pass through to Barry. Barry sends it up the line. It deflects back to Barry. Barry gets around the defense. Keller, Barry fires a shot. Saved by McGee again. And that will be a corner for Natick once again, as Jackson McGee did get his fingertips on that one. What a day for Jackson McGee. Doherty sends in the corner, deflects away into open space. Doherty deflects it, and it's booted away by Brookline. Knocked down, kicked forward, sliced the wrong way off the defender's leg, and it's going to be a race to the ball. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Natick. 16.5 minutes on the clock here in the second half. Subbing in for Brookline, Eamon Boschel and Wally Lawrence, replacing Grady Ames and Eli Traub. Throw in. Off the head of Lee. Off the head of Gordon. Booted ahead by Cuervo. Now Paxton's kick deflects away and is kicked up by Lawrence. Liteplo fighting to get positioning on the ball. Collides with Owens. Now another collision off ball as Liteplo sends a pass back. Now that pass kicked away by Cliver out of bounds. Another note in the live chat from Karen Stern. Good defensive play by Jason, referring to Jason Rabat, who I've noted a couple of times for some strong defensive play. But also, how about the play in net of Jackson McGee? He's had a couple of huge saves here tonight. As a push from behind is going to be called against Cliver. That'll be a free kick for Brookline. Brookline's got Grady Ames on the sideline preparing to come back in. And it looks like they are calling an injury timeout as Ames is coming into the game, replacing Jason Rabat. So Rabat might be injured. Hope he's okay. He's been doing a very good job as a wingback all night long. Pass intercepted by Bukartacha. Pass for Doherty, knocked away from him and taken by Alcalay. Alcalay dribbling around. Now passes it across to Jack Fitzgerald, who's now here on the near side, taking over for Rabat. Tap from Lawrence over to Fitzgerald. Now pass goes up for Liteplo. Liteplo battling with Owens. They get tangled up. And a whistle is going to go against Liteplo. Now, I think the rain might have, has the rain actually stopped out here? It almost looks it, but I might just have a bad view from here in the press box. Tavilla takes it, passes forward, it's booted away by Alcalay, taken by Paxton. Paxton pass to the outside to Cliver. Cliver up the line to Doherty. Doherty sends it for Cliver, who's cutting in. Cliver's shot is saved by McGee. I like the aggressive play from the wingback, Michael Cliver, on that play. He snuck past the defense, and it was a well-designed. He needed someone that he could send a crosser in because he didn't have much of an angle for just a straight-ahead shot. Off the head of Lawrence twice, downed by Owens. Battle for the ball again. Lawrence trying to keep it in bounds. He goes over the back. No whistle. And it kept in bounds. Pass to the middle. Gets through. And now a trip up by Natick. And that is going to be called. And it's going to be a free kick for Brookline. I believe it's just outside of the box. And so it's going to be a bit of no man's land for Brookline, as they are going to be very close to the box, which means that Natick can have their defenders just sort of form a wall like you see them doing. And so there's not going to be much angle for the shooter to take a shot from. But based on the Brookline players moving into the scrum there, they're not planning on any kind of pass. They send a shot through, and it's in! Brookline makes it 3 goals. I think, I'm not entirely sure. I should have double-checked on who was taking the PK. I thought, based on this I think it was Wally Lawrence who took the shot, but it might have been Sebastian Spinelli. If anyone in the it was 11. It was Sebastian Spinelli who got the PK goal there, or not the PK, a free kick goal to make it 3-1. Very close to a PK, but he still had to get it over the wall of defenders, perfectly placed. And now Brookline up 3-1. We got a funny note in the live chat from Noah Friedman. Wow, dropped off for a work call and came back to see Brookline leading. And it has been a wild second half for Brookline. They went into the break trailing 1-0. Had not scored through the first 2.5 games they had played. And they've now exploded for 3 scores out here in Natick. Wally Lawrence getting the first goal just 5 minutes into the second half off a throw-in from Jason Rabat into the box. And then the second goal was, I don't even know who it was, as Brookline just kind of rushed a corner kick before anyone was ready, and it deflected off a Natick defender and into the net for a kind of an own goal. And then this third goal, a free kick by Sebastian Spinelli. And that makes it 3-1. 12 minutes and 39 seconds on the clock here in this game. Brookline with a 3-1 lead. Ball's taken back by Brookline. Pass goes up to Leteplo. Pass goes back to Lockwood. Lockwood further back and popped up in the air. Deflects back and forth. Off several heads. They're going for our record. And now it is corralled by Bochelle. Bochelle taps to the outside, gets it to Alcalay, but it's stolen away by Natick along the far side. They try and send it forward. Cut off and kicked away. Deflects. Spinelli. Spinelli trying to get around multiple defenders. He cannot. Taken back by the Redhawks, but a pass is going to be cut off by Fitzgerald. Booted away by Lee. Up in the air. And that's going to be a penalty against Bochelle for the push in the back. Now a pass to Owens and now to Lee. Lee passing forward, cut off. Ames tried to kick it, but instead it's taken by Lee. Pass to Tavilla. Pass forward for Barry. Barry cut off and knocked out of bounds by Oliver Stern. So about 11 minutes left in this one. Floats towards the box, bouncing along and booted up in the air by Brookline. Just barely. Natick kicks it back into the box, but now there's nobody there. And McGee just blocks with his body. This is a good time-killing strategy as he can just wait for a Natick player to come charge him before he can pick it up. Brookline, with a firm 2-goal lead, can now enact all kinds of little strategies to run off those precious seconds. Headed down, controlled by Lockwood. Lockwood manages to get to the outside to Alcalay. Kicked up the line, out of bounds, Brookline ball. Sub coming in for Brookline. For the first time today, we see number 18, Ben Speicher, as he replaces Nico Leteplo. Throw in for Brookline. Booted away by Paxton. Bouncing off a head, off another head. Controlled for a second, and now kicked away by Brookline, but it goes off of Cliver and out of bounds. Just over 9 minutes left in this game. Brookline leads 3-1. Throw in. Deflects. And Rabat now boots it. He's back in the game. Good to see him after he came out briefly for an injury. Paxton trying to clear it. Scrum for the ball is won by Brookline. Now kicked away by Natick, and that's going to bounce out of bounds. Brookline ball. Throw in. Natick pushing things forward to Villa. Pass up for Barry. Cut off. Good defense there by Cuervo as he gets the pass up. Spinelli sends it forward for Fitzgerald, who sends it. Now it's knocked out of bounds. So that wasn't Rabat. I got mixed up by the jersey numbers. But now 3 subs coming in for Natick. Luke Doherty, Matty Gordon, and Sam Hess, numbers 2, 8, and 9, respectively. Natick getting the throw in deep in their own end. Deflects down, out of bounds. Still Natick ball. Lee throws it in. Bochelle kicks it right out of bounds. Throw in, headed down by Bochelle, controlled by Lawrence. And then it deflects over to Paxton, who sends it up the far side. This is Doherty. Oh no, it's Cliver going down the far side, but he's walled off by the Brookline defense, and it's taken away. Long pass up for Lawrence. Lawrence gets around Paxton, but Doherty coming back to help on D, knocks it. Lawrence trying to fight through multiple defenders, gets the ball forward, but it deflects up to Paxton, who boots it away. Off ahead. Downed by Ramsey. Now the clear sliced. Hess fighting for it, but Brookline wins the battle, and it's booted out of bounds by Lockwood. Quick throw in up the far side. This is Ramsey. Knocked out of bounds by Fitzgerald. Or this might actually have been a penalty call. I think this might, yeah, this was a penalty call, so it's going to be a free kick for Natick from about the 20-yard line exactly. Barry sends it in, deflects off a body, headed out of the box, and now Brookline off to the races. They've got numbers. It's 3-on-2, and that was way mistimed, way offsides by Lawrence, and whoa! Brookline had a prime opportunity there, but they needed to send up their leading kick a lot sooner. Five and a half minutes on the clock. We will soon enter stoppage time. And now it looks like the official's going to have a talk with Theo Paxton and Wally Lawrence. So after talking with Paxton and Lawrence, Paxton passes it forward. Now sent to the outside, lifted, headed away, but controlled by Gordon. Gordon trying to tap one through, but too much traffic, taken back by Brookline. Brookline trying to send a leading kick, a big breakaway chance. Wally Lawrence collides with Bosworth. And so that's going to be a penalty on Bosworth. They're going to say Natick trying to argue that Bosworth got to the ball and knocked it away before Lawrence collided with him. But But actually, I think, in fact, Lawrence was trying to fake out Bosworth, trying to get around him, but it just ended up colliding with him. So a free kick for Brookline from about the 20. Bit hard to tell the jersey number of who's taking this kick. And this is number 10, Bochelle. No, it wasn't, but it's a goal anyway! Sorry, I had a little trouble identifying who was taking the initial free kick, but ultimately, off the deflection of that free kick, it was collected by Grady Ames. My goodness, 4 goals in the second half for Brookline here tonight. Scoreboard clock frozen at 5 minutes for stoppage time. An estimated 4 minutes left in this game as Brookline leads by a score I don't think anyone would have predicted coming into this one. 4-1, the Warriors lead the Redhawks. Lee sends it up the near side, and it's booted out of bounds. So we got 1 goal each from Wally Lawrence, Sebastian Spinelli, and Grady Ames, and 1 own goal, which I imagine will be credited to someone. I'm just not. Again, I'm going to have to go back and look at film for that one. Throw in, downed, and ultimately taken by Barry. Barry racing upfield, sending a crosser through, but it's deflected away. Good sliding deflection by Bochelle, but that is going to force a corner. These two schools, of course, also faced off in girls' soccer earlier today. That game was not able to play a full 80 minutes because of the rain and the lightning, but they did get through the first half, and so it counted, and Brookline got a 1-0 victory from what I've heard. Brookline boys looking well on their way to victory here, leading by 3 goals in stoppage time of the second half. McGee boots it high across midfield, headed back, popped in the air by Doherty. Collision for the ball, deflects back and forth, now kicked forward by Natick. Barry trying to race it, cleared away again. Now a kick into the box. Hess trying to fight around defenders for it. He controls the ball, pass back, gets past everybody, chased down by Ramsey, tries to send one forward. Weird ricochet. Kicked in the air and cleared out by Brookline. It goes up to Traub. Now dribbling around, a pass back. Booted upfield. And I believe this is Ames, Grady Ames, fighting along the corner. And it rolls out of bounds. Goal kick for Natick. This one popped up in the air. Now kicked right back by Brookline, and back and forth it goes. Off the head, it's booted away again by Brookline. Now Traub trying to push it forward, but Paxton there to keep it away and send it back to Bosworth. Now a leading kick for Natick. Barry trying to race for it, but he can't get there before it goes out of bounds. We are simply awaiting the triple whistle at this point for the end of the game. Throw in off the head of Lee over to Gordon. Gordon trying to push it forward, but too many white jerseys in there, and Fitzgerald clears it out. Bosworth boots it right back. Off ahead. Bouncing forward. And kicked back. And there is your triple whistle. The Brookline Warriors secure their first win of the year. The final score here at Memorial Field in Natick, Massachusetts. The Brookline Warriors 4, the Natick Redhawks 1. What a crazy game this was. Natick scored with just seconds left at the end of the first half on a rebound score by Matty Gordon to take a 1-0 lead into the break. But out of the break, Brookline came out like they'd been shot out of a cannon. The equalizer goal scored by Wally Lawrence, assisted by Jason Rabat. The second goal, an own goal by Natick, as Brookline decided to go for kind of a rushed corner kick. I'll have to see who kicked it into the box to find out who's going to officially be credited with that score for Brookline. But that gave them the 2-1 lead.